What's up, everybody? I'm Tyler Caldwell.
I'm Steve Mobby.
I'm Alan Britt.
And I'm Terence Reilly.
Boom.
That's right. He's flexing on us.
Already. Starting it off right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Today's going to be an interesting mystery review, cigar edition, of course. Normally we have an Inquisitor who we show later on in the video, but today we're going to have an Inquisitor in person.
Yeah.
Mr. Terence Reilly of Aganorsa Leaf.
It's a lot more
National Sales
intense when
Manager.
the Inquisitor is like right here
Staring at you,
while
yeah.
we're doing it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's great
Yeah.
because,
Weird.
like, if we get this wrong, like, he can actually
Judge you.
judge us,
Yeah.
slap us across the face, whatever.
I mean, we already
takes
judge
place.
ourselves for getting this wrong pretty
You can never have
regularly,
enough judgment.
Yeah, I agree. That's what my mom always told me. When I was growing up.
You must be raised
I
Catholic.
got that Catholic guilt. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
So I will say right out the gate, we're smoking something very interesting. Obviously an Aganorsa cigar, I hope.
Maybe.
I'm not going to give you any information.
No?
Yeah.
Nothing.
That was very smooth, though. That was nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Right.
Obviously,
Obviously.
Connecticut.
Trying to get that little wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That would
going.
obviously be the best like marketing opportunity, but I don't trust this guy.
I wouldn't. I don't trust anybody that's taller than me.
I don't have.
I don't blame you. And neither do I.
I mean, that's fair. There are people taller than you?
There's a few.
Okay.
I get it.
Mostly
'cause, like,
freaks.
I don't like people who look down on me, so.
There you go. Yeah.
No, I would actually, I advertised him to a couple of people here at the store yesterday as the third tallest man in the industry, because you got him, you got Robert Caldwell, and then you got Omar from Fratello.
Yeah, we just got everyone beat by a mile.
Yeah.
I look at Omar, I'm like, like this.
Well, that just means they're inspirational. You're looking up to them.
I do,
That's
exactly.
what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah.
Tall.
Just tall.
Yeah. A scientist who makes cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah. A very tall scientist who makes cigars.
Yeah.
I've
All
heard
right.
stranger dreams, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to run with that. Don't give it up.
Aim big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aim tall.
Aim
Yeah,
tall.
aim tall.
Yeah.
I've given up on my dreams years ago, so I don't know how that. I can't relate to that.
I know it turned to negative town. Let's stay in positive.
You know, just keeping it real.
Yeah. Well,
Keeping it real.
when keeping it real goes wrong.
All right, so let's keep it real about this cigar. What are we thinking so far? It is a cigar, I think, anyway.
I am thinking it's something I've had before.
Okay. That does not narrow it down.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that could be anything, you know. I'm already on like my 17th cigar of the day, and I've only been awake for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
17? That's late for you, man.
That is. I wanted to.
I mean, it's almost
I wanted to have
9:30.
a fresh palate when I got here.
Yeah, it's almost 9:30. You can't be slipping like
He's
that.
getting older, worried about his health.
Cowboys are getting old.
Yeah. Cutting it down 2 boxes a day.
Cutting back.
Hey, listen, man, inflation and everything. I gotta be careful. But no, definitely reminds me of something I've had before. Maybe potentially something I like to smoke often.
Okay.
But I'm gonna save some guesses towards the end here.
Okay. So what are we thinking so far? I'm getting a lot of I really like the retro hail here. It's very creamy, very smooth.
Yeah.
Getting some white pepper.
I get kind of a toss up between like a cooked caramel and like vanilla going on with it, like a nice sweet, sugary sweetness.
Okay. Yeah, definitely some sweetness.
Only the best for you guys. Only the best.
What do you get out of it?
I'm not telling you anything. It's cheat. We're not going to cheat here.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're not going to tell us anything about the cigar yet, why don't we give the people a little bit of background of yourself?
Sure.
You know, other than just being the third tallest man in the cigar industry.
What else do you need
That's
to
the
know?
important stuff. Yeah.
That's
all you
That's it. I'm done. All right, guys. Nice to be here.
So, Aganorsa Leaf.
The way an interview goes usually is you ask me questions and then I answer the questions.
I'm saving that for later.
Oh,
He
okay.
has one question. Can you tell me everything about you and your history?
In your whole life. Start at birth. No.
Well, let's just give the masses out there, all 3 people who watch these videos, what do you do with Aganorsa?
That's a good question. I always say the only title in a company that matters is owner, and that is not me. However, I'm VP of Sales and Marketing.
Okay.
So I handle for the U.S. national sales, and then also the marketing for the company as well.
Very
so
cool.
that's my primary role.
And
How
then
long you been there?
I've been there 8 years now. This
Okay.
is my 8th year. Time flies.
Nice.
I can't believe it. I've been doing this nearly 20 years now as a whole. So
Yeah, so this is my first time meeting Terrence, and this is kind of
the greatest moment of your life? No, you don't have to say that.
No, it's
up
great.
We can edit that.
The third greatest moment of his life.
I first started nerding out about cigars around like 2018. I'd smoked, but I smoked the same cigar.
Yeah.
2018, I really started kind of branching out.
What cigar was it?
Tobacco Especial.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember like around that time, 19, 20, like watching Terrence on like live streams and stuff, and learning a lot of cool stuff.
And now here we're in the flesh.
Yeah, here we are.
And that would have been not too long after you started at Aganorsa.
Yeah, I started it in December of 2017, December 1st
Okay.
of 2017. So we're at the same time. We've grown up together.
We have, man. Where did you start within the company?
So Terence Reilly is a gringo name, but my father is part Spanish Cuban. I don't know. You know, Cubans all think they're Spanish, which they are, but
Right.
whatever. You know. And Manuel Quesada who makes a lot of the Ferio Tego stuff, used to make the original Fonseca before they sold it to my father. The Casa Magna brand, which is made by Plasencia but is their trademark. I worked for him for many years. When I was younger, I went down for a summer to the factory in Dominican Republic, just to have a fun summer. And I was like, that's a good story. I'll work at a cigar factory. I didn't even smoke cigars. And then, just working there, you see how amazing the whole process is, how like cigars are totally antithetical to the modern life. It's like, it's not efficient. It's not like based on like analytics or anything like that. Yeah. It's like everything they do is like this old school, like Byzantine way of doing all these things. And, seeing all that was really impressive to watch, all the time and effort and energy that went into that. And then on Sundays, I'd always go over my uncle's house, and they'd have lunch, and they'd play cards and everything, having a drink, and everyone was having a cigar except me. And so I started smoking on that Sundays when I would go over there that summer, and it was a petite Bellicoso Fonseca vintage. That was the first cigar. Okay. And I would smoke those, and then it just kind of, I started smoking more cigars, and then a few years later, my uncle said, "Listen, it's a family business. We'd like somebody in the United States to work for us. Like, we're all down in the Dominican Republic, and nobody really wanted to go live in the United States, permanently, basically, which they'd have to do. So would you like to work with us?" And I said yes. So I went back and worked did real work in the factory for a while, and then I worked for him for about 10 years. So
nice.
It was that's how I started off. It's nepotism. That's God bless it. I wouldn't be anywhere without nepotism. Let me tell you, it wasn't talent that got me to where I am.
I like that you say that the cigars are antithetical to modern life, because I feel like it's the same way for like smoking a cigar and enjoying it.
No,
like,
for sure.
You're hanging out in a shop or with your friends, whatever you're doing. You're just kind of like sitting around, wasting time, just kind of doing nothing, enjoying people's company, taking it easy, going slow.
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned like nothing's based on metrics or just kind of going on feel.
Yeah.
It's even the same way like smoking a cigar. Like everybody's going to have a different take on it. Yeah. You can't easily categorize things and put it into a little box where everybody's going to have the same like mass marketed experience. Like we're all going to sit here smoking this cigar and get completely different notes from it, completely different experience of it. Like
C-dash, the making, growing tobacco, making cigars, smoking cigars, the whole thing is totally a throwback to a different era, because everything now is based on efficiency. It's like how quickly, how fast, how easy, and there's nothing about this that goes along with that theory.
Yeah, if you wanted to be efficient and make a lot of money, there's way better industries to be in.
Every cigar owner I've spoken to about finances said,
there's a guy in the industry he'd say the cigar industry made me a millionaire, and I was like, "Weren't you a millionaire already?" He goes, "I was a multi-millionaire."
I like that.
Yeah.
Kind of going along with that topic is, and you could probably explain this better than I could, because you've actually been to the factory and you see all the processes of how these products are made. It's always interesting, especially talking to consumers, about how it is nothing to just walk into a humidor and just grab a cigar and light it and spend, $8 to $15, whatever your price range is going to be. Go over here, sit in the lounge, cut it, light it, smoke it, throw it away. and putting into the process, like trying to educate to them, like what actually went behind getting you to that step.
Absolutely. No, I mean, just like, I mean, when I always use it as an example of this is the band. Like you look at the band and you're like, just put the band on. All the bands have to line up. You use too much glue, it tears the wrapper, not enough, it falls off. And if that consumer goes in, buys that cigar, takes the band off, tears the wrapper, goes, bad cigar. They don't go, everybody did their job great.
Yeah.
I mean, they grew the tobacco over years and fermented it correctly and cured it and aged it and blended it, and the roller did a great job and everybody did a great job. This one person just made a tiny mistake. They go, this cigar sucks.
Cigar's ruined. Yep.
And so that's one. It takes one person, and there's like hundreds of people that can screw up. So it's like a borderline miracle that when you have a cigar that it goes without issue. I mean, it's just incredible to watch.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that go into making a cigar. And I mean, speaking of good cigar, this is a banger right here.
This is
This is
solid.
a damn good cigar.
This is great.
Only the best for you guys. Only the best. You know, other people.
We appreciate that because not everybody has that motto when we're doing these panels. Some people are like, yeah, we're going to screw with these guys and make them smoke something not so great. This is a really damn good cigar.
Another thing about and again, that time I spent that summer, the two things was like the process and how interesting it is, but also the camaraderie that develops, which again you see in the lounge as well, is that cigars are unusual in the sense that like if people like Harleys, it's like a type of person, and then they all like Harleys. I mean, not. Obviously, there's a range, but you get a certain type of person. With cigars, you get all types of people, and it's amazing. Like you'll be
including a lot of Harley guys.
If you take out what is normal in cigars and like applied it to anything else, it would be weird. Like if you were sitting at a bar and somebody was like, "Hey, are you drinking bourbon?" It's like, "Yeah." "Oh man, have you ever had an old fashioned? Let me buy you one." You'd be like, "Is this guy trying to steal my wallet or something?" Like that would be a weird thing to happen.
Something's up.
Like, why is this guy talking to me? But in cigars, if you saw, "Oh, you smoking a cigar? Oh man, which one? Okay, hey, I got one. Try this one."
Try this.
Like that would be a totally normal thing that nobody would second guess and think. But like in almost anything else, that would be bizarre. You know, and so that's another cool thing about it is it really brings people together in a way. Honestly, as we were saying, if it's for the money, get out, go do something else. I mean, and again, not that you can't do. Everyone here is doing okay. It's not like it's a bad life or anything like that. But if it's purely for that, get out. What's really enjoyable is that the business aspect allows me to do stuff like this. It's like we're sitting here, we're smoking a cigar, we're talking, and we're having a great time, and really. We're not going to be here forever, guys. Like you don't have those moments. Like you don't. Nobody wakes up at the end of their life and goes, "Man, I just wish I had even less time, to enjoy myself. I wish I worked more, and I wish I just spent more time at the office." I mean, nobody says that. So
well, I do wish I spent more time at the office because this is
what
I need to do in the office.
No,
some of the time anyway.
The office.
Right.
We've all heard it referred to this, but it's a common equalizer. Right,
Yeah.
where a millionaire and a guy who makes minimum wage could sit and enjoy something for $10.
Yep, and find some common ground.
Talk about things that they wouldn't connect to other, which is again amazing today. People can't agree the sky is blue. Like you put a post up, sky is blue. Someone's be like, "It's not blue all the time." When the sun sets, it changes color. You're an idiot, And so it's like, oh man, So it's nice that there's still this realm that exists where you can get away from that. So
yeah.
No, and I really like that point that you made because, like, the amount of times I've sat in lounges where you really don't know anyone around you, like, you don't know their histories and their backgrounds, but, like, once you start talking, you learn about them, of course. But, like, that sole fact of just sitting there, like, everyone's equivalent to me at this moment. Even though, like, I could be, a janitor at a high school down the street, and this guy could be, the owner of, like,
Fortune 500 company or something.
People you'd never be with otherwise. Right. Like I wouldn't be hitting here with either of these two guys if it wasn't for cigars. I mean,
I don't know what
I can't blame you, to be honest with you.
Well, at my wedding.
No, you guys wouldn't lower yourselves to hang out with me, is what I'm saying.
I don't believe that's what you meant, but
I was gonna say a great story about like how that connection is created is that years ago I was traveling in like Tampa area with a rep. This was when I was still at Casado. I guess it was during spring training or something, but we went to look at hotels at 9 o'clock at night, like, oh, what's nearby and everything was like either booked out or like incredibly expensive, or we were gonna have to drive hours to find a hotel that was like more reasonable. And he's like, I know this guy, I think we can just stay at his house. And it's like almost 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, well, how well do you know him? And it's like, no, I've met him a couple times. I'm like, you're gonna call this guy at 10 o'clock at night. You're gonna ask to stay at his house, and you're gonna bring me, who's never even met him. He's like, yeah, it'll be fine. And so he calls this guy. And it was. We went over there. The guy's like, "Come on in, guys." He like cooked for us. I did like the next day. He's like, "So, you guys in town for?" I was like, "Yeah, but we'll get a hotel for tonight." He's like, "No, just stay here." And to this day, I see this guy. Like I was just in Tampa. The guy came out to the event. Said, "Oh, Terence, great to see you." Brought people to sit. And again, I literally could have been a serial killer. I just showed up at his door at 10 o'clock at night with some other guy that he barely knew, and he just come on in. I mean, it's like an incredible thing.
Yeah, I mean the number of like lifelong genuine friendships that I've made in this industry, both on the cigar side and the pipe side, is just
it's amazing.
Unreal.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
unreal.
Well, I mean, Tyler and I both worked in the store for a period of time, and
Shout
at my
out Low
wedding,
Country Pipe and Cigar.
I had, I'm inviting like 60-some-year-old men to my wedding as a 20-something-year-old, who I consider good friends.
Guys who you just
And-
met at the shop.
Yeah, guys that I met at the shop, became friends with because we sat around a couple times a week and smoked cigars together.
And you
And actually connect.
build that
Yeah, and
connection.
under
yeah,
like what other circumstances would some, a construction worker in their 20s at the time, meet and converse and bond with like,
All these different people.
retirees.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it's a really magical thing in that aspect.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, man.
For sure.
Well, to the cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very sentimental.
Speaking of magical things,
Yeah.
because this cigar just keeps getting better for me.
Where would you guys put this on like a body strength level?
For me, like smack dab middle, medium.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say when you first mentioned it, I wasn't really getting a lot of that like burnt caramel and vanilla that you were talking about. That has started to become more prominent for me as this has kind of gotten maybe through the first third.
His palate is a lot more refined, Tyler.
Well,
You know,
I am a refined
I wouldn't
person.
argue. I wouldn't argue. He's a very refined man.
You can
in
tell.
In general.
I get that, like, for me on the palate, it's like sweet cream, sweet cedar. I can definitely see the caramel thing. But
The
like,
sweet cream, especially on the retro ale.
yeah.
for me.
So the
Absolutely.
retro hell for me, I don't know what I ate for breakfast. I don't know. It's crazy spicy.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, almost like red hots.
Red hot.
Yeah, like a
Very specific.
nice shot of Fireball.
Fire. Good Lord. Are you from Maine?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I would say I necessarily get like super spicy. I can definitely get like some tones,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's not like a general specific. Like it's just like
Yeah.
I'm getting
an
like
all
a
across the
peppery
board.
spice.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a
yeah,
peppery
yeah.
spice.
Yeah. And maybe not even. It's definitely, I won't call it a pepper bomb, but like comparable to on the palate to like little to no pepper to the retro hell is kind of,
Yeah.
put some hair on your
Yep.
chest.
I think for a strength level for me, I'm kind of with you guys, like smack dab in the middle, but I could see for someone who maybe doesn't smoke as often as we do, find this to be a little more powerful, a little more leaning towards
I can see that.
medium plus full.
Yeah.
But I could also see like the further I get into this, like I will feel the effects
Sure.
of strength coming in a little more as well.
And it is burning beautifully too. Like this is a very well constructed cigar.
got ash.
Yeah.
And a great size. All of us are big like Corona smokers
Yep.
here. Or Corona Gorda, a little bit longer than a standard Corona, but
Good ring gauge though.
yeah, good ring gauge. I don't smoke anything over 50, typically.
And I will say, like, I'm very impressed.
Technically.
With, like,
Yeah.
Technically.
I'm impressed with like the perfection of the wrapper. Like
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful wrapper,
Yeah.
which
Super oily.
I've always found synonymous with Aganorsa. Like,
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
are always like, you look at like every box that you open, like the wrappers are perfectly like equivalent to the next one next to it.
Yeah.
They're always beautiful. Like
Very
there's no
consistent.
like there's
Great
no
production.
blemishes or anything like that. So
Yeah.
This is going
kudos to you
great.
guys.
This is going great. You guys should have me over more. This is
I
wonderful.
agree. I agree. If you're gonna pick cigars like this for us to smoke, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even for, obviously Aganorsa manufactures a lot of cigars for outside of their own. And if you are not a cigar nerd per se, you maybe have never heard that name, Aganorsa, but chances are you have definitely
smoked something.
smoked a
Right.
couple
Yeah, absolutely.
that you weren't aware of.
Right. I mean, there's so many other brands out there that have a connection with you guys, either because you're
Selling tobacco,
selling
manufacturing.
tobacco to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's a full operation. I always say that, like, if you smoke cigars, you've almost certainly had our tobacco at the very least. You know.
And many of these videos, like Alan and I, are often referencing what we call like the funk, right?
Yeah.
And what we mean by that is like, let's say I pick up this cigar that's not branded Aganorsa, but you taste and it's like it has that Aganorsa funk because your guys' tobacco just has such a unique profile. Same thing with like my father, same thing with AJ Fernandez, things like that.
Yeah, you find that kind of signature profile. Yeah.
I feel like it's
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, when we do these reviews, we play to the cigar, but we also play to the Inquisitor. Like, if it's somebody that we know what they like to smoke.
Yeah.
What do you like to smoke? Like, what are your go-tos? What's your palate? What's your size?
So size-wise, it's like I like this size. Like this Corona Lonsdale, somewhere between 44 to 48, really is kind of 5 to 6 inches. But I end up smoking more and more 50 to 54. One, because that's a lot of what sells. So
Sure.
I always say it's like my opinions are not really that important, to be honest with you. like I have to listen to what the consumer wants.
Sure.
And that's obviously above 50 sells a lot more than below 50, just as a general rule. And so we have to make sure that those are going to be great. So I end up smoking them more. And honestly, I think we do an amazing job. I would even say that in terms of if I'm going to pick something and I want to definitely enjoy it from us, I'm more comfortable at like 50 to 54 than under 50, even though my favorites are under 50.
Sure.
Gotcha.
And then in terms of, there's what I smoke the most, and then there's what I enjoy the most. And again, I always kind of focus more on the core line stuff, but like what I smoke the most is really the Anniversario and the Validation Connecticut's. And why? Because you go see 5 stores in a day, 6 stores. You don't see these people that often. You go in and you're like, I've already had 3 cigars today. I'm just gonna sit here and stare at you. They're kind of ruins the mood. You go out to a steakhouse and they order salad. Everyone's kind of like,
Because I've already had 3 steaks today.
Yeah. So that kind of ruins the mood a little bit. So I want something that I can enjoy, but like have several cigars and not kind of at the end of the day feel my palate's blown out.
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna have one or something that I love the rare leaf Maduro. I love that's a blend that I love.
Yeah.
Anniversario Maduro is a blend that I love to smoke. But again, I wouldn't smoke that all day. I smoke those less than I smoke the Connecticut, only because like I just can't be smoking those all day long. It's more of a sit there and enjoy, and that's the last cigar of the day. Or if I'm just gonna have one, I feel satisfied, sated after that. So
That's a really good point. Like there is a difference between like smoking for quantity and smoking for quality. Because like if in your position, you're gonna, like you said, you're gonna see multiple stores and retailers every day.
Yeah.
You're gonna smoke back to back to back cigars. You're gonna smoke the thing like smoking something that you enjoy all the time.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're gonna burn yourself from it and maybe not enjoy that anymore. So it's like a special occasion.
Sure.
Even if you smoke one of those a day, that's still a special occasion for that day. But you know that you're going to be smoking in quantity back to back to back, but you're still smoking things that you still enjoy.
sure.
But like there's just like that fine line.
Yeah, and a lot of my smoking, and I'm sure it's the same for you guys, is analytical. I'm validating. I'm ensuring the quality, consistency of the product. So you're checking how's the burn, how's the draw, how's the ash, is it tasting the way it should taste, all these things. And again, that's not coal mining. I don't want to make it sound like it's like some sort of like arduous task, but it's different than having a cigar. And like I remember a few years back, I got home from a trip. It was like 10 p.m. at night, so it wasn't too late, but it was still nobody was awake. So I went out and I poured myself a tasty beverage and had a cigar, and I just sat there and relaxed, and I was like, this is wonderful. I didn't like think about it. I should do this more often, because it's a little different than like sitting there and analyzing everything. It's just a little bit different of a process. And really, that's how most people enjoy a cigar. They're not sitting there wondering if it tastes exactly. I mean, they might be doing that on some level, but it's not actively or consciously. They're like analyzing every step of it. They're just kind of sitting there having a good conversation, and they want something
it's
they
very
enjoy.
different. Very different. And speaking of tasty beverage, like what would you guys pair with this?
I had a chai tea latte for breakfast, and I feel like
Bougie.
it'd be
That's
bougie.
that's where you're getting your spice from.
Yeah.
That's on your palate.
nice little chai tea.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be a good mix.
For me, like to me, this could be like a morning smoke, but I don't know if I would advertise that to like the common consumer. But if you were going to smoke this in the morning, like this was like a fresh, hot, like double shot of espresso. That would be.
Go the Shane Ireland route, man. What's the lavender drink that he gets often?
Lavender.
Yeah.
Also bougie.
He's a lavender boy. But yeah, there's like a floral quality to it that I think would go really well with like a lavender flavored latte.
Or even like some type of like floral, like hot tea or something like that would go really well with this. I would find.
Like
Maybe
an herbal tea, yeah.
I would even say, I think like an Earl Grey tea would definitely go really well with this as well. Now, if you want to talk about like adult beverages,
I do.
Oh, it's tea talk. I feel like I'm in England or something.
I know it's only 9:30 in the morning, but yeah. We can talk about it at least.
well, you know, what we do off the camera, you know. I think this in the evening, you know, after a good meal with like a little cup of bourbon, like I feel like the sweetness of the bourbon would definitely enhance the flavors of this, like because like that sweet cream you're talking about, I feel like that would even more intensify.
I didn't want to be the degenerate and be the first one to bring it up, but I was definitely thinking like a sweet bourbon would go well with this.
I go Scotch. Like my favorite Scotch of all time is Dalwhinnie, and Dalwhinnie is
Dalwhinnie's
like
great.
very little, like a kiss of smoke, but it's got this like honey overtone that I think would go really well.
I think that could go well too. Honestly, I think this is one of those cigars like you could probably pair it with just about anything.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd go with like a glass of milk or something.
Yeah, yeah.
You never know until you try it.
Sure,
You
yeah.
know,
Let's do it.
Maybe some almond milk. That might bring.
I
out
could,
more
yeah, the
flavor.
almond milk, I could see that.
I was more cashew milk, really, but you know.
Man of good taste.
So something that I want to point out, and I want to see if you guys get this. I'm getting like, especially on like the texture of the smoke, kind of this like fruit gummy. This too. I don't want to necessarily say like a dry fruit or anything, but like just like that really sweet like gummy, Welch's gummy packs that you get as a kid and stuff like
Little
that.
Scooby-Doo snack.
Little Scooby-Doos.
Scooby snacks.
Little Scooby.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting some of that going along with everything else we've discussed on the flavor.
Tastes
I can see
tastes like going through our cabinet and stealing my daughter's snacks. At midnight.
That's a beautiful memory.
Yeah. It's not a memory if I do it every night.
All right, a beautiful ritual.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
There you go.
good word.
And then
Just make sure your daughter doesn't watch this
the
video.
bad part of the ritual is her waking up in the morning and being like, I don't have any fruit snacks for school.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Your mom forgot to buy them.
Oh man, I blame Mom.
You know, mom.
Yeah.
Always forgetting. Damn it, mom.
Oh no, this is delicious, man. And like you said, it tastes familiar. I don't know. I was gonna be confident and be like, I've definitely smoked this before, but I don't. Once again, I don't trust this guy.
I don't know.
It does taste familiar, but
Usually when we go down that route, we're absolutely wrong.
Yes.
I say it every time,
Yes.
and like my foot goes in my mouth.
yeah,
every time.
doing these videos has destroyed my confidence more than anything that I've ever done in my life. Because I'm just always aggressively wrong.
Keeps you humble.
Yeah.
Although I'll tell you that just to make you feel better is that I remember in Pro Cigar in Dominican Republic, they did for 3 years they did it. The first year I was there's like 500 attendees and they gave them 4 cigars with no band, but there was like 5 choices for each one that they could have picked. And out of 500 people, only 10 got it right, and then out of that 10, this gentleman David Kitchens, he was the raffle winner, but he was one of the 10 that got it right. So he won the trip the next year. The next year they did the same thing, but there was no choice. You had to pick the cigar without knowing. He got it right again. And this is like out of 500 people, he was the only guy that got it.
Okay.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And then the year after that, so he comes back again. The year after that, it wasn't even brands. It was like you had to pick the factory that made it, but they weren't blends that were on the market or anything like that. So and they said nobody got it, but they didn't announce like which was which. And I think he won it again. And they're like, we can't just keep giving this guy a trip every year. And then they never did it again after that. But obviously if you're traveling to that kind of thing, you're a big cigar smoker, you love cigars, and almost nobody could do it. So it's a lot. It's hard, man.
It's hard.
I always say, and this is kind of a marketing thing, is that like people say, oh, I don't care about the band and I don't care about the box and none of that matters and everything like that. And
It does.
that's fundamentally untrue.
Yeah,
like
it does.
in the first thing that, like, if you see people smoke a cigar blind, like, they have a hard time understanding it. They can't. There's no visual cues.
Yeah.
Like, if it says Simtex, or something, okay, it's going to be strong. Or if it says Suave, it's going to be okay. It's going to be mild. Or that's their mind is geared towards something.
Right.
And the other thing is, you take somebody's favorite cigar that they love, and you put Biden or Trump's face on the band, they don't feel the same way about it. I would never smoke that, or that's why I buy a box. Now,
terrible.
it's the same cigar; it doesn't taste any different, But they literally, and you'll see them, they'll go like, oh yeah, I wouldn't do. And so when a person buys something, this is where I always have this debate where people feel that like marketing and packaging is like a way to trick people. It's like smoke and mirrors.
Absolutely.
What it really is meant for is to frame what their experience will be.
Right.
So that they know when they look at it, am I going to enjoy this? Okay, like, well, it's clear. It's Connecticut. I tend to like Connecticut cigars. Oh, it says it's mild. Okay, I prefer more medium cigars, so this won't be for me. Like, you have to frame what the experience will be, because otherwise there's nothing to guide them, and there's lots of cigars in that humidor. So how are they going to end up with the right cigar? You've got to give them something for them to like latch onto, and that's what people are doing. And again, why do people not smoke Lanceros? Oh, that's a girly cigar. It has nothing to do with the flavor. They look
Big Lancero fan.
Yeah. No, I know, but like we all love Lanceros, but it's like the word. Like, I always joke, if like every time a store says they're going to specialize in Lanceros, I go, when you go out of business, let me know. I'll buy a bunch of stuff. You're just not like, if that's all you do, like, there's just not that big of a market for that, and it's not because of the taste or the flavor or anything. It's because the person visualizes themselves as like, oh, how will I look? How will people perceive me smoking? And so those are all
incredibly
important things.
subjective.
So those are things that you have to really pay attention to if you want to be successful, because the cigar itself is one factor, but the best cigar you've never heard of, the best cigar that you don't identify with, is one you never smoke.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Last night, I was trying to buy car fragrances, and can you believe they would make car fragrances that they don't tell you what it smells like? It's like Suave scent, and then no explanation of what that smells like.
That could be a
It smells
business.
smooth.
Like,
One
all
was
you need
called
to know.
Signature Scent with no
Regular flavor.
that could be a smart business venture. Like, just have every scent just a complete mystery. Like, are you gonna like it? Or are you gonna not?
How many sales?
don't know.
It's also a good way
How
to
many
not have
sales
to
are
worry
you
about
missing out
quality
on?
control.
I don't know what that is. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's from a business perspective, that's a bad way to do things.
Yeah.
Like I'm interested in that brand's other products, but I'm not going to buy their scents because
I'm not going to buy your mystery scent.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're kind of at a point where we could probably make some guesses and then find out what the hell this is.
Find out how wrong we are.
Yeah.
All right, what are you thinking?
If I had a choice, which I do,
You do? Yeah. Funny how that works out.
signature selection, Habano, Corojo.
No.
Okay.
I actually tremendously respect that you guys do this. Like if you put yourselves out there.
Do it twice a month.
Kudos to you guys for even
Every time I talk to a customer and they're like, "Hey, I see you in those videos where you guys guess things," and I'm like, "Well, thanks for watching me be wrong."
Yeah.
Thanks for watching me embarrass myself.
I usually just apologize to him. Like, I'm sorry you had to watch that.
Most people get upset. Like if you put them in that position, like they'll feel like I actually stopped doing it because sometimes I'd give people something and they'd be like, "Oh, this has got to be, ultra premium high end," and it would be like a bundle cigar, and they would get upset. Like they'd be like, "Oh, you're trying to embarrass me," and everything like that. So it's good that you guys have the.
I felt self-conscious about it initially years ago when we started this, but not so much anymore. And nowadays, it just makes the highs when one day
when
it
that
feels
once
good,
a year that you get it right, you're like, it's all worth
amazing.
it. It's all worth it.
It's always something to look forward to.
So
Well, I was also thinking Habano, so you already took care of being wrong on that.
Well, technically, I said Habano or Corojo, and he said no.
He said no.
So,
Well, you said the signature, correct?
well, I said
Oh,
signature.
yeah.
So
It's not the signature.
Okay.
So, I smoked an Arsenio yesterday, sitting here with Terrence. This kind of feels like the same size. And I smoked a lot of cigars yesterday. My palate wasn't great, but
Same.
it feels like the same vibe. So if I was pressed for an answer, I'm guessing Arsenio.
Do I answer before everyone guesses, or do I answer now?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead and
already
answer.
screwed.
Go ahead and answer before everyone guesses.
I'm already screwed on that. I don't know. Let's find out what Steve thinks first.
Well, like I said, I was gonna say that it was a Habano. I wasn't thinking Arsenio until you just said it. So yeah, I'm just gonna cop out and say that I'm just wrong, and I was gonna guess half of what Tyler said and half of what Alan said, and probably be wrong on both counts.
It's Arsenio.
No, okay.
I pulled a Truett. I smoked the cigar
Alan
last
pulled it off.
night.
Yes.
Alan pulled it off.
Which was purely a coincidence because I didn't give you that cigar,
No.
so I wasn't cheating by
Yeah.
giving a preview of what you're doing today.
Yeah, it was a cigar I haven't smoked in the portfolio, and I we're with the man, so I had to smoke an Aganorsa for sure.
Of course.
And yeah, I was just interested in the blend, and I love the cigar, and I love it now.
I'll tell you, your notes are very good on it. Like the spice to the retro, like the pairings I thought were really good. I thought the Scotch was really good. I thought a sweeter bourbon, like I thought those were great. I thought your comments on it were very, like I think one of the things to give you guys credit is you guys smoke so many different. I mean, I just smoke 90% of our portfolio.
Sure.
I do enjoy other cigars.
good.
One for my own personal enjoyment, but also just to see what's out there.
Yeah.
Oh, people are really enjoying that. Okay, let me try that. But even within that, I'm not necessarily smoking the same exact cigar, with few exceptions, that often. So you guys are going to so many different things. For you to be able to kind of recognize the notes of something, that's good. So that's great that you guys can do that.
It's nice to be recognized for once.
That's the only nice thing I'm going to say. So I wanted it's one
Normally,
per show.
You don't want to spoil us. So just give us all kinds of
There's no
compliments.
nice things. There's no kumbayas. It's just a lot of shit talking. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it out of the way. It's over. Don't expect anything more.
I
But
appreciate it.
shout out Alan.
I think that might be my first win of the year. Camera people, first win of the year.
And by
And this
the-
is the first year that we've been back doing this, right?
And with the Arsenio, so the Arsenio Ramos was the head blender for Aganorsa. When Eduardo was Cuban, but he was not from a tobacco background. So when he started into the business, he brought a slew of Cuban agronomists from Cuba to Nicaragua. And the reason he was able to do that is that they were kind of retired out, and Arsenio Ramos was the most important of those. He was in charge of leaf processing in Pinar del Rio, Cuba, which really, Cuban tobacco is famous because of Pinar del Rio. They grow it in other places, but like Pinar del Rio is why Cuban cigars have the reputation they have. But none of them were party members. And in Cuba, once you get to a certain point, they kind of retire you out if you're not a party member, because they want party members in charge of the top stuff.
Sure.
And the reason they couldn't be party members is when you fill out, 200 questionnaire to become a party member, one of the questions is, do you believe in God? And the correct answer in a communist country is no. And they would say yes. And okay, well, come back next year. And they couldn't become party members. So they were kind of sitting there not really doing that much. And they took them over to Nicaragua, gave them the resources. They had half a century of experience. They were all in their late 50s, early 60s. And so Arsenio was the most important of that group. He was the biggest name for sure, and had the most experience. And he was in charge of basically our operations for the last 20 years of his life. He passed in 2018. And so he smoked this blend. Like in this size, we made it in a Toro, in a Robusto too, because of popularity of the sizes. But this was the blend he smoked in the size, and it was a blend that he could smoke throughout the day. It wasn't like you could have it in the morning with your coffee, but you could have it again. And like you said, it's not a mild cigar for the average person, but if you're experienced, you could So it was cool to see the comments, as you smoked it, that were very apt for what it was.
Awesome. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I love hearing about the history of moving
Yeah.
cigar production from Cuba to other Central American countries. And as someone who's never met Arsenio, I think this is a fine treat.
This is an excellent
Absolutely.
cigar. Yeah.
Also available on smoking pipes
Yeah.
in all three sizes that
Yep.
are available.
Yep. I'm buying a box. You buy a box.
That's right.
You buy a box. You buy a box.
And also, don't be afraid to check out all the
you're like an
other
Oprah, but you're
selections
selling
in the portfolio.
Yeah, what's nice about Aganorsa, well, the strength and the weakness for Aganorsa is that, because I always say Aganorsa is kind of like a bourbon bar, where there's all different types of bourbon. Mm-hmm. You might like a weeded bourbon more than a cask strength or whatever. But like if I have a bottle of bourbon that you've never tried before, and I say, hey, would you like to try this? you know what you're getting into. It's not going to taste like gin. It's not going to taste like rum. It's going to taste like bourbon. So if you like our signature flavor, you're comfortable with our portfolio. You know, some you like more than others, but like you're never going to be like, what in God's name is this or whatever.
Right.
Now again, the downside is if you don't like bourbon, then we don't have gin and rum and vodka. So that's the advantage of a company that does a more vast array of things, is that they have something for everybody. We don't have something for everybody, but if you like what we do, you've got to come to us, and you're going to like the vast majority of what we produce.
And if you like what you guys do, you're going to like it a lot.
Exactly.
You guys do it very, very well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And if you don't like bourbon, I don't want to know you anyway. So.
And if you don't like Aganorsa.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got bad words to say to you if you don't like Aganorsa.
Yeah. You tell them.
Thank you guys for watching. Check out Arsenio. Check out Aganorsa. And forget this guy was here.
Get a flex, guys. Flex. Aganorsa flex.